I feel like I'm having this conversation with absolutely every woman that I know. And here's the consensus, right? So I used to think that the way to break the generational curse of being an exhausted, overworked, bitter, resentful, unhappy, unfulfilled woman was to make sure that I didn't make the same mistake and choose the wrong partner, right? That's what I thought it was. Now, did that mean that I was treating myself like a human being, or that I saw myself as a human being? Not exactly. Not exactly. So, here's the thing. So, if I'm at the top, right? If I'm at the top of an oppressive, exploitative system in which I'm benefiting off the dehumanization of women, why would I, as a man, come along and fix that? And I'm not just talking about like enlightened men who are good men and all this kind of stuff. That's not the majority. That's not what I'm worried about. I'm not talking to men. I'm speaking to women right now. You are waiting for someone, and this was me as well, because nobody is not a pick-me, by the way. This is the conditioning. The conditioning is that you're a pick-me until you turn around, you change everything about yourself, and then you pick yourself. This is the truth. The entire work of our lives is undoing internalized misogyny, which is where the real problem is. The truth is, you can't control how other people behave. You can't do that, but you can control what you tolerate, right? You can say, no, I'm not going to stick around for this. And that includes everything. This is not just about interpersonal relationships with men. This is about the nature of the world as we know it. All of it. Okay? Women, we are participants in our own demise. We're not victims. We're not. And it's not just about you anymore. This is about the continued survival, thriving, whatever you want to call it, of the entire human species. Okay? Men are not going to do anything. We have to do it. They're not. Don't wait for them. Women have always been the initiators. We've always been the ones to enact change. Don't listen to any patriarchal retelling of history that says that women just stood around and received the fruits of men's labor. That's not true. Rubbish. And it's okay. It's okay for, thank you for your service to all the previous iterations of feminist movements and liberation movements that have tried to free women from the shackles of patriarchy, all of it. Thank you very much. That was important. What are we doing now? Every single woman that I know is exhausted. All of them. Every single one. Every single one of them has a hormone imbalance or endometriosis or PCOS or is suffering from chronic burnout or is depressed or anxious or completely disconnected from her body. These are things that are happening to us as a result of the world that we live in. Nobody's going to come along and save us. It's not in their interest to save us. It is not in the interest of the capitalist machine monster, which is a death cult, by the way. They don't care if we live or die, and we can't eat the money. So let's just stop pretending that we can out-earn men into being liberated from it, or that we can outwork them to being liberated. Everyone is trapped. This affects everyone. Patriarchy doesn't just affect women. It is killing everyone. Misogyny is... And it's not just men who are sitting around on these podcasts and whatever, talking about how can you be with a woman who doesn't submit to you? Like, what are the boys gonna think? Blah, 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 blah. I don't care what they have to say. The crisis of masculinity is not because women are earning money or because they're more sex positive or because they're more confident or because rubbish. The crisis of masculinity is because we're not being defended. We're not being protected from oppressors. That's why. And the crisis in femininity is because we have completely abandoned the idea that we live as part of an ecosystem, and we've abandoned the idea that there are natural phenomena and there are man-made problems, human-made problems, which are going to kill us and then we'll be dead. And by the way, this is like an extremely pivotal time. Like, this is a significant time in history because as women who, you know, you can earn your own money, you can live in your own house, you don't have to ask permission from a man to do anything. You have a responsibility to end this. You have a responsibility to make change, because the reality of women not being able to even have bank accounts is not that remote. It's not that remote. These women, it was 1970s when women were allowed to open bank accounts. These women are still alive. They're living. It's not a remote reality. They're in the same generation and up, and they're alive. And this doesn't mean that you can't have relationships with men, that you have to hate men, blah, 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 blah. No. You can have relationships with men. You can have a partner. You can have a husband. You can do whatever you want. That's not the point. That's not what I'm talking about. Stop using these anecdotal, not all men. This is derailment. Listen to me. I'm speaking to women. All of the women who think that if they massage the right balls, that they will get a comfier bunk in the gulag, right? It's a gulag. It's a concentration camp. We're in the gulag. What are you doing? Who is this for? I've also been watching so many of these divine femininity coaches and these feminine mindset coaches because I'm absolutely fascinated. And I'm someone who generationally has been trapped in my masculine for as long as I can remember. And I'm trying to break out of that. But the problem is that all of these mindset coaches, they still center men. Divine femininity is not for you to learn how to manipulate men. It's for you to connect with God. That's what it's for. Because you're a spiritual being. You're a spiritual being having a human experience. And this is anti-soul shit. That's what it is. It's just a resource allocation at the end of the day. Like, it's just all of the time and money and effort that we are spending trying to negotiate with the patriarchy, trying to sidestep misogyny, all this stuff. It's never going to work. It's never going to work. Just stop. Just stop. Nobody's going to come and save you, sis. Nobody's going to come and save you. You're not stupid. You're not powerless. You're not helpless. You're not anything. Any of these things, they're not true. We've internalized this programming thinking that it's going to keep us safe. It's not. It's not going to keep us safe. We're dying very quickly, very elaborately, at an accelerated pace. Why is it that we, or Elon, can go to the moon, but we have no idea why women experience dysmenorrhea in their cycle? Why is it that you and I and all of our girlfriends spend elaborate amounts of time decoding text messages and trying to understand what he means and what he does and blah, 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 when we could be like writing philosophy books and making music and frolicking in fields and dismantling capitalism, right? And ending gun violence and abolishing prisons. We could be doing all that. We could be doing it, but it's a distraction. This is the tool of the enemy, is distraction. So here's what we're going to do, okay? We're going to stop acting like we don't have a role to play. We're going to start putting all of our resources, all of our time, all of our energy. We're going to actually decenter men, but therefore taking away their power and putting all of that into ourselves. We're going to prioritize healing. We're going to end the generational trauma cycle. We're going to go to therapy. Stop doing things you don't want to do. Stop putting up people who drain your energy and your resources. This is the spiritual revolution. This is the holy wars. If we don't get it together, humanity is going to be propelled into centuries of darkness. Fascism is here. There's Nazis. The Nazis are back, okay? The Nazis are back. Fascism is back. This is now a fight for our souls. So get to work on yourself. All of us, we all need to do it. We need to support each other. This is the work of our lives. This is it. This is the cycle breaking. This is our job. This is what we're here to do. There's nothing else. Nothing else matters. Nothing else. And we can do it. 100%. 100,000 million %. We can do it.